gonna spam. One more probably.
What?
Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, Times But a Window, and usually I don't cover updates, but today we're going to be going over the update mainly because they did something that hasn't been done in a very long time, and that is change the way the money system works in Counter-Strike. But before we go over that, let's go over a couple of the other changes they implemented during this update. So first up, let's talk about the CZ75. They adjusted the CZ75 to encourage semi-automatic fire at medium and long ranges, increased recoil and fire inaccuracy, and slightly improved accuracy recovery rates. The CZ75 has been a very controversial pistol ever since it was added, mainly because it's the only fully automatic pistol, which can give it quite an advantage, especially at close range. In fact, it has given so much of an advantage at close range sometimes it was referred to as a pocket AK. Now, it's definitely gone through a lot of nerfs, so it's definitely nowhere near as powerful as it once was, but as you can see here, it's still pretty much a beast. Now, these changes were most likely done to make the Tech 9 more viable, because who in the hell would actually buy a Tech 9 nowadays? Which brings us to the next part of this update, Tech 9 adjustments to make the weapon more forgiving at medium rates of fire, reduced fire inaccuracy, and slightly improved accuracy recovery rate. After messing around with it, with the same exact settings as playing around with the CZ, I'm going to have to say the CZ actually still wins this one by a major margin. That being said, I actually love the 5.7, so I'm surprised they didn't just make the Tech 9 more like that. But, at least for me, I don't see myself switching over to this gun anytime soon. But that's not all the changes they've made to guns. Oh no, they actually changed the price of the SG553 and the AUG. Basically, they lowered the SG553 to $27.50, which is just $50 above an AK. Meanwhile, they reduced the price of the AUG, or AUG, which some people call it, down to $31.50, which is just $50 more than an M4. And I just have one thing to say. Seriously, Valve, are you stoned? This is an incredible deal for the SG553 and AUG because you get so much of an accuracy bonus and a scope that it's insane. I made this video a while back and you can see how quickly it scales up. Now, while that other video is a little bit older, this is a more recent comparison, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Even unscoped, this gun is superiorly more accurate. Add the scope into that mix, and there's no way it should only be $50 more. I actually thought that 3000 was actually a pretty good place for it so that people weren't just using it over the AK all the time, but now people definitely will. I think Valve will once again revise this and probably make it between 2.8 and 2.9K, because 2.75 is just way too low. Moving on to the AUG, which is another incredible deal. Once again, for only $50 more, you get an incredible accuracy bonus plus a scope. I mean, technically the disadvantages to both of these scoped rifles is that you get a slight decrease in movement speed and spraying isn't as controllable. Part of me wonders if Valve has actually done this to actually help out those top aimers out there. You know, players like Scream, whereas everyone else just kind of tends to spray down their target. But as I mentioned, I think they overcompensated. I mean, it's no secret that Valve wants to make every gun competitively viable, even if it's just situational. Which is very different than previous versions of Counter-Strike, where you had a few guns that you'd know would work great for competition, and the other guns were considered the fun guns you just screw around with. Is it for the better? I'm not entirely sure, but I know that Mag 7s to the face definitely pissed me off. Next up, they removed canals and added Austria to the competitive matchmaker. First off, let's just get it out of the way and say that Canals was utter shit. But the good news is, this one is too. Maybe that's just my opinion, but again, it's not a map that I'm exactly fond of. I know a lot of people miss having snowy maps from Counter-Strike's past because we used to have like Ruska and Survivor and a lot of these awesome snowy maps, but this one just does not live up to expectations. To me, this is more of like a DoD map. Day of Defeat, for those people that don't remember that game. Granted, they did remove capture points and put a couple bomb sites on the map, but it just doesn't feel right. Now, I could probably make an hour-long video nitpicking why this map is not good for Counter-Strike, but basically, let's just sum it down to two things. First up, let's just say that defenders have way too many angles they need to worry about, and the defending angles are just way too easily taken because they are so small and can easily be mollied off entirely with one molly. I think if we're going to bring in a novelty map, we should bring back Thrill, because who doesn't love roller coasters? And yeah, that's pretty much all they did if you don't want to count the game-breaking economic changes. So as you guys know, I'm incredibly old, and I've been around Counter-Strike for a very, very long time. Now, the Counter-Strike money system has gone through changes in the past, and those were definitely for the better. Back in Beta 4, they released an update that made it so the losing team received less money than the winning team. Then there was a couple other changes, but the biggest one of all made it so that terrorists could no longer save their weapons and not gain money. And after that update, nothing in the economy of Counter-Strike changed for the rest of 1.6, all of Source, until right now, 5 or 6 years into CSGO. How long's that game been around? And don't forget, Source was released back in 2004, so it's been like this for a very long time. 1 pistol round, 2 save rounds, and then a gun round. Now don't get the economy confused with gun prices. Valve has definitely changed the gun prices quite a bit in CSGO. I mean, for all of 1.6 and Source, an AK was 2.5k, instead of the 2.7k it is in CSGO. So here you can see a game I've played with the current new money system that they implemented. This is the pistol round, and you saw that I ended up getting armor, which is what I'd consider a pretty standard pistol round buy. Obviously, I wasn't able to get any kills, and on the second round I have 2k. In fact, with the current system, if you don't buy anything on the pistol round, you can actually have 2.7k after the first 2 rounds. Why does this matter? Well, this means you can actually buy an AK on the terrorist side, even if you don't get any kills and don't get the bomb planted. Now, while that is the case, chances are the other team is not going to be setting themselves up to fail on the pistol round, and you shouldn't either. I bring that up because a lot of people say, yeah, you shouldn't buy anything on the pistol round, and then you got plenty of money regardless if you win or lose on the third round. I think it's always important to start out strong and always give yourself the best chance for success and not have to think about what you're going to be doing on third round before you even start the pistol. It's almost like it caters to what I'd call a loser mentality. Oh, we're just going to lose the pistol, so we might as well not buy anything anyways. Okay, time for another story. Back a long time ago, maybe the year 2002 or 2003, back in Counter-Strike 1.5, we used to play with a rule set called max rounds 12. This means instead of having 15 rounds per half, we'd have 12. I know, it's super complicated. So where am I going with this? Back then you still had the pistol round and then 2 eco rounds. Because of this, if you won the pistol and both anti-eco rounds, you ended up getting 6 rounds out of your 13 that you needed to win. This means that the pistol round was almost half the game. When the rule was changed from max rounds 12 to max rounds 15, it significantly decreased how important the pistol rounds were, but they still had enough of an impact that it felt like the pistol rounds were worth enough to practice. There's something very unique about pistol rounds, and it's very different from the rest of the game. Now the impact of the pistol round has been even farther reduced, and it feels like it's to the point where the pistol almost doesn't even matter. So either way, you can see at the beginning of this round, I started off with 39.50 and bought a 5.7, brought me down to 34.50 because we're actually saving for the 4th round because one of my teammates didn't remember about the money change and decided to force up the round before. But regardless, I can still share a pretty interesting point with you. Now the 3rd round is technically the buy-up round. The problem is the economy does not cater to having a sniper at all. See, as you can tell, I did not get any kills. We're obviously on CT side, so we didn't plant the bomb and get any economy from that. But if my teammate didn't screw up his money by forcing up on the 2nd round, we would actually be buying up on this round, and I'd have nowhere near enough money to buy an AWP. And it's not like I spent a lot of money either. I bought armor on the pistol round because you're gonna buy something on the pistol round to guarantee you win the round. Because no one should go into the first round of the game with the expectation to lose the round. Again, back to what I said about loser mentality. Now, 2nd round can be very debatable because it is an eco round and those rounds are very unbalanced no matter what you buy. To better explain, on pistol round, you and the other team are equals and neither one has a better economy or an advantage over the other team. So I could understand not buying a 5.7 on the 2nd round just to save some money and make sure I could afford that AWP on 3rd round. But even with me not buying that 5.7, I end up still being a bit short of buying that AWP, about 300 short. Which means that I do need at least 1 kill to make up for it. So this means I have to take a gamble right off the pistol round. I can either forfeit my pistol round and not buy anything, potentially screwing over my teammates, or guarantee that I'll either win the round or kill enough targets to nullify the amount of economy that I spent. Which, if I buy armor, means I need to get at least 1 kill. Now, if you're terrorists, you have a slightly better chance of making up this deficit because you can plant the bomb for money. And to be completely honest, this entire economic change really does favor the terrorists in general. But if Valve really wants to make it so that the 3rd round is the new primary gun round, then they really need to cater to all playstyles, and that includes snipers. Even if I can't buy any utility, I still want to be able to buy my primary weapon while my teammates buy theirs. Even if that means I need to go glass cannon. For those of you newer players out there, that means with no armor. So I propose that Valve makes a minor edit to the money system that they've now implemented. After the first round, you would still get 1900, but after the second round loss, instead of it being 24, you would get 2700. This would make up the extra 300 so I didn't have to purposely sabotage my teammates on pistol round to guarantee I could afford an AWP. Anyways, guys, this is just my opinion. I know a lot of you guys are going to have very different point of views, and feel free to post them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, have a great day.